Scene. I think we're live. Okay. Today I am coloring Zatanna by James Dean Anderson because I want something simple today. And I guess I'm waiting for someone to come in. Let's see if I can get this done before anyone comes in. That'd be fun. Let's see. Levels. Seems about right. Okay. Clean up this. Hello, person. Who's that? Hello. So is this Tug? Oh. So, what's up? You want me to switch over to Hangout so you can show it, or what? Alright. It's Tales from Beyond the Gate, right? Hey, Pencil for Life. How you doing? Oh, I forgot to multiply. So who do you got all working on that anyways? Everybody? Is Model 316 just doing the front cover, or does he have his own comic thing? Yeah, he worked for Disney, I think he said, for a while. Who's uh who's Kevin Stewart? I've not heard him. Ah, now I know who you're talking about. Never talked to him, never saw him promote anything, but I've seen that book around. That sucks. Yep, doing the art for that. And he's also got his other book What's it called? He's got his own one going. Ignition, is it? Yeah. And that's, is that a Good Dog Press or something like that? Or, okay. Yeah, I keep on hearing the name and people interchange it, so I wasn't sure. Yeah, no longer gaming the system, decided to play fair. Yeah, my understanding was that you had all that stuff already, like all the art and everything already done. And Pixel, okay, because Pixel Trader the other day was like, I haven't even started. I was like, wait, isn't that the wrong way? Isn't that opposite of what everyone was saying about that stuff? I was like, hmm. She goes by Katar, right? Yeah, that's confusing. She should change her name because that's confusing. No, because there's Cat Rocha. And I was like, I didn't remember, I didn't think that she was drawing. You know, I haven't been showing you on the screen for the last few minutes. Well, I said, I asked you. And then you got, wait, what's Macho Dan work on? I know I've seen him around and he follows me, but I don't know what he's working on. Ah, okay. Now, yeah, see, I don't recognize the names of creators all that much unless I've interacted with them. Yeah. Wait, Pencil for Life, you can't hear him? Okay, let me see if something's wrong. Say something real quick. Okay, what the fuck? Something's wrong with my thing. Why is that not picking up? It's not picking up the audio coming from Hangout. First time it happened. Yeah. Let's see if I can find where this problem is. Editor. I don't know, I've never had this problem before, so I don't know what the fuck is up. Scene, Hangout. Is it muted? It's not muted. Got desktop audio is on both. So it should be coming out. Let me. Okay, say something again while I'm listening to the playback. Yeah, if it's weird. Let Let's see if I just add another hangout. Maybe, yeah, try that. I don't know why that would even cause that. So. Audio, input capture. Built-in microphones, all that.
Here I am. Can you hear me now?
I can still hear you. Pencil for Life, can you hear?
Can you hear Pencil?
He's saying he still can't hear. There's like 8 different variations of this thing that I can like try. Just keep on talking until one pops out, because one should be desktop audio.
This page, because we got a bunch more artwork in, and some of the stuff looks really good.
Okay, Pencil, can you hear that now?
In, and some of the stuff looks really good.
Okay, Pencil, can you hear that now? Okay, that's gonna be weird.
In, and some of the stuff looks really good.
Okay, Pencil, can you hear that now? Still can't hear. Sorry about this.
Oh, that's a shame.
Now I got audio, like it's saying that audio is being captured, but it's not working. Voice meter cable. Knew I shouldn't have installed this stuff. But it's never given me this problem before, so I don't know. Like it's not... No. I'm just, I just have the startup thing just so I can have it there. So I don't have to show this, but...
Mulrooney, he was doing a couple of live streams and stuff, and I went on his show to go, hang out and support and all that when he got started. But every time I go on a show with the that's using Streamlabs, there's always some sort of issue.
Yeah, you should be coming through. Now it says it's coming through, but I have to check the.
Every time I go on a show with the that's using Stream, always some sort of issue.
Okay, it's coming through. Yeah, you should be coming through.
Oh, is it? You can hear me now, or
yeah, on
Pencil
on YouTube channel. I don't know if Pencil can hear you, but I could hear you on the YouTube channel.
On the playback?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Okay, now I'll switch back to this. Okay.
Oh yeah, I can hear it on my playback as well.
All right, back to
back to the promo then. Yeah, this Tales from Beyond the Gate. It's currently 50% funded right now, or 51% funded.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys about that. You guys have a fixed goal of like $10,000.
That's correct.
From what I know, and from all the things that I've put together, like that that amount just wouldn't cover it. So, are you guys doing something special, or are you not willing to talk about that, or what?
Oh no, we can talk about it. I mean, realistically, we can get this book made and shipped for around 8,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry, like page count just on that, it's alone. It doesn't seem possible.
Right. No, we got a pretty fair deal with the printer and all that, but we actually bumped the price up a little higher, just because we really don't want to do this unless we can get these creators supported in some way. So we want to give each creator at least some sort of a profit, so that they can get their own stuff off the ground and going.
So So, yeah, that probably wouldn't be nice to ask. Is what is the minimum amount that you're looking for in terms of profit for each of the creators?
Oh, that's up in the air.
Yeah.
Whatever the profit is the profit. You know, we're not looking for a minimum. But the thing is, we set that profit for the project itself at like 2,000.
Yeah,
That's all it
because when
is.
I look at the things, I do like calculate a basically a minimum price for like artists, and like to get one page done is like $100,
Hmm.
and then you're like at 150 pages, and I'm like, how do you get 150 pages at $100 per page?
Well, that's the beauty of an anthology. The beauty of the anthology is that every artist that's bringing stuff to this project is bringing completed stories, their own works. I'm not paying for it. They're not paying for it. And they're doing this to not only get this medium, this Tales from Beyond the Gate anthology up and going, because this is built to be an ongoing thing. Like Tales from Beyond the Gate, if this funds and is successful, we'll be doing a second one, which will be Tales from Beyond the Gate. And instead of horror, it'll be sci-fi. So this is kind of a way, which is why we have the backing of the actual pros,
So will you
because
guys
you
be
know they
changing the name? Like,
no, it'll be Tales from Beyond the Gate sci-fi.
oh,
It's just going to be Tales from Beyond the Gate. The anthology will be Tales from Beyond the Gate.
no, I'm just asking because of the when you go tales from, it's usually horror type stuff.
Right, right, right. But that's just kind of what we landed on.
Uh,
But yeah, I get what you mean. It makes sense. But yeah, we'll do like Tales from Beyond the Gate, fantasy, Tales from Beyond the Gate, crime noir, stuff like that.
like
But
Tales from Beyond
and
the
because
Prison
of that,
Gates.
there you go. But because of that, like we want to get this thing supported to the tune of it's worthwhile, and we need a lot of people. The whole point of this is to have a bunch of people working on one book and a bunch of people advertising the one book. This way, you know, as an up and coming creator, you don't have to quit your day job to make a go of trying to do this comic thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You can have other people out there promoting the book that you are also in.
yeah. There's an advantage for working together with people, but there's also the disadvantage of like having to actually bring in more profit per thing.
Right, right. And that's the whole crux of it, is that we're not really doing this for individuals' profit. We're doing this to get some money so that they can back their personal IPs.
Yeah, and get some
Their own
recognition for them too.
exactly, yeah.
If they're attached to a successful product, it's probably easier to get out. I mean, Nasser's getting out there largely because of the he's gotten a successful project out there already.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. And you know, this if you can be on this project, and this is also because of the nature of an anthology, you can take your ideas that you're not too sure about and you don't want to invest a half a year working on a 75-page graphic novel for a character or an idea or a story that isn't going to fly. You can go out there, you can put a little short story, a little 4-page 12-page story out there, and if it resonates with people, then you know, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and put more effort into this,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
So how are you getting feedback on that? Just are you like including some sort of card in that where they can ship it back, or are you just relying on some
Oh, we're
other
going to
nebulous form of feedback? I don't know.
we're working on that. We don't have that patent down yet, but right now it's up in the air about the nebulous form of feedback. But there's a bunch of different ways people can feedback. I mean, because the thing is, most of these creators have their own YouTube channels. I think almost all of them do.
What was the process of like who's involved? Like
Oh,
how
it
did you
was
get the people involved, and how did they submit their stories and all like that? Because I
it was
I
just
heard about it and it sounded, I was like that seems interesting, and then it's like, well, there's this thing, there's a time limit to when you need to have something in, and it's like, okay, who do I talk to? What's going on with that? That's like, it was always like, it's there, but I don't know what to do with like the information that it's there, and there's a way to. It was never clear on who to submit anything to, from at least
right,
for
and
me.
it was kind of like a I don't want to be I don't want to sound like too much of a jerk, but it was kind of meant to be that way. because what we wanted was people that are going to put out feelers or cold, essentially cold call people to find out, because the answer has always been, well, you call me, I'm running the project. You DM me or you Twitter me, But we kind of left it vague, so people would say, oh, and the thing is, I did get people like Bill Hart, people like Jay Potts that did have the initiative to go ahead and just, message me out of the blue and say, what's going on with this and how do I get into it,
Yeah, I didn't even know who was running it. It's like, is Pixel running it or is Chester running it? I was confused, but I wasn't paying too much attention to it, so that's probably my fault.
No, and I would go out on different shows. I would go on like Maylands or Marmaduke or whatever, and I would just talk about the upcoming project. And it was like, okay, yeah, my name is John Dillard, and my channel is John Dillard Gaming the System, or it was at the time, and hit me up, and we'll get things going. And we wanted to get people that were kind of like more extroverted, and willing to go out there, and people that believe in their IPs and wanting to put themselves out there to get some information. Because like a lot of these stories, like for was a letterer, colorer, and also artist, but this story it's a prequel to a story that he's working on. Oh. So that he's taking advantage of the whole, let me do a short story to see if people have interest in what I'm talking about. That way I can actually invest in a fuller long-term story.
Is this the prequel to Oz?
I
think no, that's what he's working on, right?
I'm not actually sure what the title of his other project is.
Operation Zephyr, I think.
No, that's Eric Weathers' project. Yeah, Eric Weathers has that project with someone else. This story itself is by DeWolf, and this is a prequel to his story. I forget what it's a story about Templars and demons and stuff.
Okay. Excuse me for a second. I don't think this person will leave me alone until I answer.
Sure. Well, that dog too. Yeah.
Let me. Where's the?
Yeah, but this is a way for people to get behind creators, independent creators, and support them like directly. Like people talk all the time about how, this is an independent comic revival and things are going to be different and the quality is going to be, we're going to have bigger, higher quality control and all that. Well, this right here is the way to get those creators funded and out there making things, because they're sitting there with piles and piles of stories and new ideas and characters and stuff, but they don't have the funding to get their stuff up and going. This is a way or an avenue for them to do that. And this avenue is like we were talking about it, and this is kind of like the best case scenario for everybody involved.
So
we put this out there. And
did you put together artists with writers, or how did that work?
No, well, the original core people, we had about 5 people that were kind of like our core group of people that were going to be putting in stories, which was me, Manny Correa, I think Tank Ferret, Todd Mulrooney. And we were kind of talking about it. Well, what happened was we wanted to put a real anthology together. Like you were talking about the page count. We wanted to bump our page count. Because as it stood, just by ourselves, we only had, I think, about 65 pages. And we were like, no, this needs to be double this. So we started putting shout outs to people. But we wanted people to come to the project with a complete story. We didn't want to match up artists and writers and colorists and stuff like that. Yeah. But the thing is, because this community is really tight knit, it's not that hard to find people that work in those different, avenues.
Yeah, like the thing that I find is that, the reason why I ask is because, like, you were saying you were doing it to, get these people some funding, but from what my experience is that, really, you only need a few images to start putting Indiegogo together, whereas with that leaves writers at a disadvantage, and so they're the ones that really need this. And if you're already looking for a full story put together, it's kind of like not going to help writers as much. And
well, you see, here's something. Like, for instance, I have a story that I wanted to put out.
Right.
However, I'm an artist and I'm not a writer. So what I did myself was I told Chester Busby, I told Chester, I have a story, a synopsis, but I need somebody to script it, to flesh it out, to give these characters some weight, some gravitas, you know? So I teamed up with Chester to create a story. He changed it up so much so that it was almost unrecognizable to mine, but that's okay. You know, he's the writer. I'm not a writer. You know, so he got a story, you know, a little idea, but he was able to get the story that he wanted to tell out there. Essentially for free because I'm the one drawing it and coloring it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing is that's the kind of communities, because the thing is when you're small time, you just can't do it. You know, you can't do it all on your own.
Oh, I know that for a fact.
And you need to team up, and you need to check your ego at the door and say, you know what, I may be the baddest man in all the land when it comes to drawing a pretty face, but I'm not a writer. And I need to, I need to go and get me a writer. Or the thing is, and also with these anthologies is that if you are a writer, and again, when you're talking about people that want to make comics, you're mainly talking about writers. Yeah. And these writers, you know, it's a heavy investment just to get a story out there, you know, monetarily.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about an anthology, right. But if you're talking about an anthology, now all of a sudden, okay, well, I can do a 3-page story. Because, you know, even if you find a dirt cheap artist, somebody that will pencil and ink for like $60 or less, which is dirt cheap per page, that adds up in 22 pages.
Yes, it does.
You know, but it doesn't really add up when you're doing 3 or 4 pages.
It's still a hefty sum to be putting up in there.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier, I consider like the minimum page investment that I found is like $100 freaking dollars, but that's with also with coloring and without lettering. With
right.
With lettering, it's another like $10-20 minimum. So it's like $120 to get everything done per page, and that's like minimum for anything. You're not gonna get like high-end stuff doing that.
And that's the thing. Like when you come over here, when we kind of got this thing going, it's kind of like a little club. Because yes, like we had a couple of people that submitted stuff, and we told them we want you to have your stuff submitted, inked, you know, colored and lettered, and show us what it's going to look like, you know. But as soon as they got in, because we had some people, and we were like, okay, yeah, this looks good, and we said, okay, you're in the project. But once that happened, now you are part of the family, and you have access to all these creators. Like even somebody like Kat, who came in really late, you know, he said, okay, yeah. And then I said, okay, I need this thing lettered. And I called up Todd Mulrooney, you know, I said, I need this thing lettered. So it's not like, you know, we want people to really put their best foot forward, but once you get into the project, you're part of the project and everybody gets helped out.
All right. That's cool.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I can take a crack coloring that. Just send it over to me. You know, okay, there you go. I sent it. And then, you know, a day later it comes back colored. It looks beautiful.
So even though that it says that X and Y worked on a script or a story, it may have actually been worked on by 4 or 5 people.
But the thing is, like, yeah, this is their story. That, you know, we credit in this particular order: artist, then writer, then letterer. I mean, then colorist, then letterer.
What about
someone? Right. So
forget the flatters.
Well, the thing is, this is independent comics. The artist is the inker and the colorist and the flatter and the penciler. You got to be a jack of all trades. You can't sit around and say, I'm going to do pencils for $250 a page. You know, it's like, no, that doesn't work in independent comics.
It'd be funny to, like, I've never seen a comic that actually credits a flatter. It's kind of funny.
Well, yeah, like if you look at, like, for instance, my this story I'm working on here, Forbearance, right?
Yeah.
Like, I wrote up the synopsis for the story. I sent it to a buddy of mine named Miguel Garcia. But he's like, you know, I don't want to be, you know, I'm not too sure about it. I said, okay, well, then just send me what you got and I'll finish it up. So I sent out the synopsis. I got his roughs back for the script, and then I tightened up the script roughs. Then I also did the pencils, the thumbnails, the layouts, the inks, and the coloring. And I'm also going to be doing the lettering, you know, but that's just how it works in independent comics. You got to be able to do everything.
And even if you don't know how to do everything, you got to have a sense of how to do everything.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're gonna mess stuff up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's terrible when you're sitting there and you have this beautiful piece of you know, line work, this line art, this beautiful, inked page, and then you start putting colors in it. No matter what you do, it's just muddying it up and coming out awful. It's demoralizing. But
Yeah,
that's the great thing. Like I have access to people like Todd Mulrooney who have been doing this small time in the business for quite a bit of time. And he'll sit there and tell me, he'll sit there with me for like 2 hours, in a private hangout and saying, no, you can't use those colors next to each other. Go into your CMYK, find out how much black is in this particular hue of purple. And if it's over 50%, you can't use it, and like these valuable things that you just don't get to learn until you actually start doing it.
yeah. There's a lot of stuff like that where you're like doing something, and it's like I need to figure out how to do this. You come back to the project and you're like, that thing that I thought was stupid really needed it.
Yeah, really important. Shouldn't have brushed that off. But it's great because you get to sit around with all these artists, and everybody kind of has this broad sense of how to make a comic book from what you can learn from a YouTube tutorial, But until you start sitting down with people that are actively making comics, you start picking up that information that would take you days on YouTube to kind of comb through and figure out. You're getting 4 or 5 of those tidbits every session,
Well, it's also that it's all spread out and you're getting it from different perspectives and stuff like that from YouTube. Whereas when you're in a group, you're getting it's like, oh, that's how that works, and then someone else will chime in and add something to that rather than just from one person.
Yeah, like for instance, this picture here with this guy looking at his arm that's cut, and the sky is cloudy and gray. The same sky was up here, and then they hit me up and said that sky is clashing with that gray wolf. It's both gray. It's terrible. Fix it, So I had to. Well, what do I do?
Yeah, that one's hard.
Make the sky a little more blue. Put a blue tint on it. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's just simple things that you don't. You fail to realize when you're so deep into drawing the one thing.
Yeah, if I were to say anything about that, probably working on saturation contrast.
Mm-hmm.
It probably would help right there with all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
with your background and foreground. Well, that's the only thing I would say about that. It looks really great.
Mm-hmm. No, and I'm telling everybody, I'm not secretive about it. I've started doing sequential artwork September. I am not an experienced comic book sequential artist, but I am trying my best to be a sponge and check my ego, because I do got a little bit of an ego, and that's okay as long as I check it myself.
Yeah, creators are really weird in that we're both humble and we're like arrogant as all hell. It's like,
Oh yeah, we wear all of our emotions right there on our sleeve, And I'm not gonna lie, I grew up in a Hispanic household. I am Hispanic, and I was very much a product of, everything I did was suspect of being sissy. It's like, oh, you want to be an artist? What are you, a sissy? Maybe not using that word, but
like, yeah, sure, whatever.
So I've been able to get trained to be like, okay, well, I don't really get too bent out of shape when people critique my artwork, but at the same time, I am an artist, and I get severely hurt when people bring up even the smallest thing.
Yeah. The worst thing though is that if you get no reaction from something, that has always been my pet peeve. If you really want to annoy me, get to me with any of this stuff, is just don't react to anything I do.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like you're sitting there putting your heart into it, or at least trying to get a reaction out of someone with your creativity, and then you post it online or you post it somewhere or you give it to someone to look at. They're like, eh. It's like, wait, what? It's like that was.
Or they go. Oh yeah, it looks good. It's like, are you serious?
It's like I just spent like 8 hours of my life on that. What is wrong with you?
I'm coming to you with my hat in my hand, begging for some feedback, and you tell me, "Oh, it looks good." You're crushing my soul.
I would much prefer someone go, "This sucks balls. This is horrid.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with you? What possessed you to create this trash?" Than someone going, "Whatever." it's what it is, you know. Like,
No, absolutely. I want people to go over my artwork with a fine tooth comb, and which is great because we all set up a Discord where everybody submits their artwork to, just for critique. And all these artists, they're not very nice people, and they'll tell you if your artwork is terrible. Say, oh,
yeah,
dude, what is that hand doing? It looks like something out of a creep show. You gotta go fix that hand.
yeah. I'm naturally hypercritical about everything, so I have to like balance that out against being like, yeah, that's trash, that's trash, that's trash, because I can't go around and just go to like. If I wanted to, I could probably make a good long show of just like going to IndieCon and just
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
tearing
yeah.
apart
But
everyone's
the thing
project.
is, I have to do because I'm kind of like running this campaign. I have to really check myself because I don't want to have the Jim Lee syndrome where if they're not drawing like me, then it's garbage.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I really have to be careful about that because I am also super critical and opinionated. So I have to go and look at their artwork and judge it on the merit of its own, what it is for itself. Like for instance, this Eric Weathers does this, Horza Hatin, and he does these demons. This is not the way that I would draw a demon. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
It doesn't look like
But
what you would really think of a demon off the top of your head, but it does look
right,
like some variation or incarnation of what a demon could be.
right, right. I wouldn't put these manga inspired, speed lines coming in the middle. You know what I mean? And I look at this front yard of this church here, and I'm like, where are the blades of grass? Because I do kind of focus myself more along the lines of like, this is like my stuff. Like I cross hatch everything to death. Like this is mine here. Like I try to put everything. I try to get even in the faces and everything. I try to I'm not scared to go in and hatch a young girl's face, which is a big no. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that's the worst thing. There was
Like
this one.
don't go in and do not when you're drawing a woman or a young woman or a little girl especially, do not put any extra lines in the face. I'll go in there and throw lines everywhere.
Yeah, there was this one guy that I was talking to for an artist, and he put up a thing as not when they're showing off what they can do. I forget what it's
Hmm.
called at the moment. But I'm like, that's really great art, except you're putting too many lines on this woman's face. I was like, I'll even show you. I erased like 2 lines, and it looked so much better. I
Hmm.
was like, I don't know if I just made a mistake there by saying that, but it's like,
No, I mean it
wow.
is it is a very good and solid rule to go by.
Yeah,
But
you
that's
don't
just
want
my
women.
style. Because
No,
I can draw a woman very plainly with no lines on her face and just simple, solid, clean outlines. I look at it and to me it looks unfinished.
yeah, the more lines you put on a person's face, the older they look, though. So
Hmm.
that's just natural. It's the same thing with I think every like artist should go take up theater art, theater makeup, because they
Hmm.
teach you how to do how drawing in wrinkles and stuff, how that ages you, and what all those wrinkles actually mean for the character.
Oh yeah.
So I think people should go learn that, and it's such an
Yeah, I have
awkward
a
thing to tell people something like that.
no, it is, but if you want, I got a video on YouTube called it's a morning masterclass and it's called Age Lines. We talk about age lines for a couple hours and where to put them. But the thing is, like, see demons like this, like I would go to town on a demon. I'd be like, oh, it's a demon. It's epic. It's gonna be gross and monstrous. I would put scales and bumps and ooze coming out of places and maybe patches of dry skin. But people really resonate with this style because this style is not only is it great for coloring. If you send this to a colorist, this is going to look fantastic. Whereas if you send something that I draw to a colorist, essentially all he's going to be putting down is flats because I do all the shading with the hatching. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just for me when I'm coloring, it just depends on the like if you know how to render properly, I love you, and
Hmm.
because that means I don't have to do the work to get all that out there. But if you are horrible with rendering and you don't know where the shadows are, I will hate you so much because it hurts my head like dealing with it because I feel like I'm competing with everything. And especially while I'm trying to learn, you're like,
Hmm.
if the shading is wrong, then I'm like, wait, isn't this supposed to be the other way? It's like, how do I put the shading on the other side then if it's in the wrong place? Now, am I going to look bad for doing that or what? You know? So,
Yeah, yeah. No, you will. This is
yeah,
why you
so
need a
I
good
have to
team.
look for good artists or this stuff. So, oh,
Yeah.
hey, James
But the thing is,
Dean.
I wanted to give everybody their own leeway to draw the way they wanted to draw. Because Eric Weathers doesn't necessarily draw the way that I draw, but objectively, Eric Weathers is the way he draws is more popular than the way I draw.
Hey,
That's just a
James Dean
fact.
Anderson. If you want to jump in, jump in. The link's in the description. Hi,
If you want to
Lorenzo.
make
Same to you
noise,
too.
make noise. Or like this guy, Kevin Stewart, when he busted out this, like I have a very hard problem doing backgrounds and scenery and mechanical stuff, and this guy is just that's his bread and butter.
Yeah, that
So
ship looks cool. I've heard it looks
yeah.
way better even when you see the full resolution version.
Oh yeah, all this stuff here is all fleshed out. You can see every little nook and cranny. It's great. I think he did this thing like I don't know 1200 DPI or something. Or like yeah, like this one here. This is really stylized. This man, the way he draws, but every drawing is consistent. So I can't fault him. I can't go in and be like, I want to render this face out and make it look more like a photorealistic. It's just, but the thing is, every single panel that he does on all this one right here, and also in his other book, his solo book, him and Man Hero, it's all consistent, which is really hard to do when it comes to new artists. New artists are notorious for being inconsistent.
Yeah, and that's kind of the most important part about all this. If you're consistent, if you keep on a schedule, that's what your key is. Even if your things look really bad, be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
That's the trick to it all.
No, what I'm saying is like the style itself is consistent.
No, I
Like you're
mean
not
like
gonna you're not gonna find him switching it up in the middle of the book. This is the way he wants to portray this, and that's how it's gonna look all the way through.
yeah, that's what I
Which is
mean.
hard for me. Yeah, yeah.
It'll even like if you're talking about time, like how often you put something on, with how big something is. If you're talking about writing, if you're talking about like art, you want to keep it a consistent style. You don't want to start one way and then I improved, and at the end of the book it's maybe improved art, but it's inconsistent with the rest of the thing.
Hmm.
You just want consistency across what you're doing, because when you don't have consistency, that takes people out of whatever they're doing. They're accepting your style.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more important than how well you render something or even how well you color something.
Now, there are images, there are styles that I'm like, yeah, that's just too ugly. I can't do that. I can't read it. No matter how good the writing is, no matter how good the story is, no matter how good the game is, it's like, that's ugly. I can't deal.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Dark Souls is a game like that for me. It's like, I try to play it, I'm like, yeah, no. I can't create a good looking character. I'm out.
And like this guy here, JPods. JPods came in real late. He was one of the people that kind of submitted a finished story already, and he's one of those people that like really researches his stuff all the way through. Like he's one of those people that he'll start talking about his story, and you want to like pull up a chair and like roast a marshmallow because you're really interested. And you can ask him like, well, where does that come from? He's like, well, let me tell you where it comes from. And he'll tell you the whole backstory. It's great. I love this guy. It's fantastic. And I think I was on a what's the channel? Number one Marmaduke fan.
Yeah.
And I was talking about this project, and then he hit me up like the next day, like, I have a story. I'm gonna submit it to you. I said, okay. Yeah, and it ended up being really good. Like, okay, so it's really cool. You get the little miniature skull right there in his hand, and these weird animals in the background. You're not really sure what time or place this takes place in.
Yeah,
It's really
there's
cool.
Terror Bird right there. So I would say 10,000 years ago.
Possibly.
Yeah, look, the mammoth, Terror Bird. That would be like just over 10,000 years ago. That'd be my guess. In the recent prehistoric. So they're time travelers.
In the current narrative. Because we all know the Earth is only 6,000 years old.
Yeah, I know
But
you guys all think that.
yeah, and this one here, I love this story. This I fell in love with this story when I was talking about it. We were kind of spitballing the ideas, me and my buddy. And this one's like he's a caveman dude, and he's the very last of his people. And this is like his very last year during the fall, the end of fall, right before winter sets in, and it's like a week long marathon that he goes through every year of fighting off all these animals that are out for looking for their last bite before winter sets in.
So this is the last Neanderthal like that ever existed, or
Yeah,
that's cool.
and this you also get the appearance in this story of the encroaching Cro-Magnon, the modern human.
Now, are you finished with this story?
No, I'm not. I got one page and two panels left on this story because I'm doing this kind of like traditional and digital. So I'm doing panel by panel and not page by page.
You know, if I were you, this is what I'd do: is I'd put a reference to the Man from Earth. If you've ever heard of it,
No. What's
the
that?
Man from Earth is about a guy who start. He was born sometime in the era that you're writing in,
Mm-hmm.
like with Neanderthals and all like that, and he's just lived it forever. And he just keeps on going and going, and he doesn't know why. He's possibly met others, but he doesn't know for sure. Uh, and he's gone by different names, which are roughly the same as John. He's supposedly, according to him, maybe Jesus.
Mm.
It's a really interesting movie. But yeah, I'd put that reference in there and just be like, hey, this guy. you know? Just put like John there. It's like, where'd that come from? Like, but
Oh yeah. Like for instance, let me see here. How does this work? I'm trying to turn on my screen, my camera. Let me unplug this and plug this in.
yeah, I have some program handling whatever my camera is. It's not an actual camera if I ever turn it on. Right now it's a gray screen.
Oh, on mine?
No, mine. So,
Oh, okay. So I can't actually share my camera.
no, you can share your camera. I'm just saying mine is like would be a gray screen like it is right now. So, but you can share your camera. It should be up. Come up, because I have it on Hangouts.
Hmm. No, it's not working for me. Oh, that's all right. I was just going to show you like one of the pages I was working on. It's page 6, panel 3. Because I like to, I just, I don't know. I do like the digital way of doing things, but I've just been doing things traditional so long that I can get work done faster that way.
Well, yeah, it's like learning a new tool. Anyways, you just get used to one way, and the new tools kind of like add more stuff, and that gives you more options. And it's like, well, I could use that option, but I don't really want to use that option. But the option's there, so every time you're going to do something, you're like, should I use that? And it slows you down. Usually,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I find. I personally like the simplistic stuff. Like, people use like Dreamweaver and all like that to do HTML. Like, just give me Notepad.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I need a notepad. I need my loose leaf computer paper. Let me see here. Yeah, this is the page I'm working on for Rick Piper's Canadian Shield. But this is my side story, how he meets his Canadian buckler, the sidekick extraordinaire, turned villain. And this is all like I go and do this all in traditional and then scan it in and kind of clean it up in clip art.
Yo, so you use clip art? Have you used any other programs?
Nope. And I learned how to do clip art, and that's all I'm going to use.
And what's that from the?
It's just a little. It's going to be like a little 4-page story. It's like a little promo for his intellectual property, the Canadian Shield.
What's that about? The Canadian Shield.
I don't know. I didn't read it.
Here's a side story about a character that I don't know anything about.
I just love trolling Rick. That's all.
great.
No, I have a little side like joke going on with Rick's channel. Like every time he has somebody on, I'll go on there and claim that they stole one of my intellectual properties and come up with a fake whatever. Or like I think he had who is it? Let me see if I can find it. It was what's his name? Andrew Sharper is doing a book called Hero, but it's like a children's book.
Here, oh yeah, it's the other hero.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, I went on there and I was like, yeah, this guy just completely swiped my character Shiro that I made back in 2012. You know? I put on the bottom Shiro, do not steal Andrew, and then I put on the bottom my signature and the trumped up date of 2012. I like stirring up drama, but I do that frequently on his channel, especially with his characters, which are like the Canadian Shield. I said, well, you're just copying my character, the Canadian Buckler. You know? But yeah, I love doing that stuff. But it's just a fun thing. I like to, you know, I like comic books and I like stories, so I'll just, you know,
Yeah,
I get really enthralled when I hear about something new. Like when I first heard about Sporkman, or when I first heard about Handyman, like I got really into it and I wanted to start doing fan art for these things. You know, I just like the stories and I like the aspects of creating characters and coming up with scenarios.
so are you a world builder type or a story type?
Oh, I'm definitely more of a world builder than a story type. But I have like, you know, you always want what you don't have, and I got like so much admiration for people that are good storytellers. I'm not. I try, but I need somebody to critique my stories and feed them back to me and kind of go over them. I can't just like, I'm not the kind of person that will be able to stand in front of a campfire and just tell a spooky story that spooks everyone, you know?
Yeah, I can like world build for days and get everything right, and then I'm good at storytelling. Like when I write it out, and like the first time it'll be like, okay, this has got some good points to it. I should probably like redo it again, and by the second or third time, I probably nail it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, because like I was sitting there, I think I was telling Rokabir, we were talking about storytelling, and I was talking about The Great Outdoors, the John Candy storytelling about the bald-headed killer bear of Clare County. Like that scene, that particular scene where he's walking around the people, and you know, it's almost like a crash course in epic storytelling, where he's emphasizing certain words, walking around one person as he's telling the story, you know, to kind of draw their eye and follow him. And he's telling the story about this terrifying bear. And then at the very end, he grabs his bottle of alcohol and tosses it into the fireplace, which makes a big, you know, plume of flame come up, you know. It was great. Like, that's the kind of storytelling I want to do. I want to do something so memorable, like, you know, in the Batman Year One, where you have that one scene where he crashes into the aristocrat's mansion and he tells them, you know, he's all in the smoke and the shadows, and he says, "You all have eaten well. You know, you've fed off the poor people of the city for too long." You know, like that epic part of the story that just sticks with you. And the other story can just go to the devil, but everything else, but those little snippets of gems just kind of stay with you for years. You know.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Like, I've read so much of this stuff that it just like all goes.
Well, it might be The Long Halloween. I think it's Year One though.
I could probably pull it up real quick. Give me a second. Yeah, I have everything on my computer with regards to that. Come on, give me my comics. DC New Earth. Batman. Should be. Do you remember what issue Year One is?
No, I do not.
Never mind, I got it. It's the first one in my list. It's 404.
Here it is, right here. I have it up on my screen. I'm screen sharing it right now. Where he breaks into the thing. He says, "Ladies, gentlemen, you have eaten well." He says,
Yeah,
"You have
that's
eaten Gotham's wealth, its spirit. Your feast is nearly over. From this moment on, none of you are safe." He covers up the flames like, damn. That's so epic.
I don't remember, but that's a great scene.
Oh, yeah. And it's great because right after that happens, like he ends up like almost dying because he doesn't have an escape plan.
Like, whoops.
I started off good,
Yeah, that's gotta be like book 3 of it, because I remember like the first 2 books, he's like he gets jacked up when he first goes out,
Mm-hmm.
and then he doesn't figure out this
Even at
whole...
the very end, he's like almost dying in the river, and then Gordon comes up and he's like, oh, he has his mask off, and Gordon's like, oh, I can't really see a thing without my glasses, and just takes off. That was great. But yeah, that's the storytelling that I like doing, and that I strive to do. And that's the kind of storytelling that I'm really striving to do in this book, Tales from Beyond the Gate, which you guys should absolutely go pick up. You can pick up just the graphic novel itself for $30. And we got 67 people already claimed that perk.
Wait, go up to the top so we can see the entire thing. I know there was one more.
Oh, this is the premiere package, the Gatekeeper special, where you get the black T-shirt. You can get it any color as long as it's black. You get 2 stickers. You get a high quality 11 by 17 style poster and the graphic novel. And the poster is going to have all of the monsters from the book all in a big conglomeration. Everybody's kind of doing their own pinup, and all the pinups are going to be on that one poster.
And you're gonna put that all in one package, right?
Yeah, that's the $60 Gatekeeper special.
I mean, when you ship it out, it's how are you gonna do that?
It'll be one package. It'll all be in a rigid box. It won't be in a mailer. It'll be in a rigid box.
So when you click the $60, it's actually plus shipping, right?
Yeah, it's plus shipping.
Okay.
You also have to pay for shipping. I'm not gonna pay for your shipping. What?
Well, no. Some people have it built in. Some people don't.
I can build it in.
And then Malin was like, add the shipping on there. I was like, okay, you say so.
Yeah,
like,
because I know we had shipping for the Gatekeeper special, and then we were set at like $30 for international, and people were like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And we went over to the post office, and we tried. I put in an omnibus of comparable size and weight, a T-shirt that I had of myself, and just the average weight it would cost and the dimensions. It's like $55 to ship to Sweden or something. I was like, "Good Lord!"
Yeah,
and, I do feel for people that like American comics and they want to be a part of it, but they're used to paying shipping. It's not news to them. It shouldn't really be a sticker shock.
Everything I look for on there is like how to ship it is $30. I've heard $15, but I keep only seeing $30, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to figure that one out.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's anywhere. Like I know if I ship, it's cheap. It's cheaper for me to ship to like Italy than it is to ship to Canada. Like I know
Australia's the worst.
Oh yeah. Oh, I sent like there was somebody, one of my followers, that won like a giveaway, and he was from Australia, and I sent it to him, and it was just like a flat envelope with some poster board, some foam board backing up a drawing in a top loader sleeve. The thing must have weighed like, I don't know, an ounce and a half. It's like $17.95.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
That is way too much. It's like,
it is. It's like, get out of here with the rest of the world. But no, this is definitely it's definitely hairy when you get to the international prices. So that's why I price it at 30, because I know that some people are going to be paying. I got to pay $55 to ship to, and some people I'm going to be paying $17 to ship to.
Yeah, I'm just like, dear God, please get the digital copy if you're foreign, or if you want to really help, get the digital copy so I can make sure that I have enough for anyone that does the foreign buy. Because it's
we're not even offering a digital copy.
It's like $15 shipping for it, but that's if everything goes perfectly. Like, I'm like, digital copies are a nice little padding.
They are, yeah.
So what's the other packages you have?
Oh, let's see. We got the Scream with a Friend, which is you get $5 off if you buy 2. And then the $200 Patron of the Arts. Ooh, look, somebody claimed that. And the Patron of the Art is this is what this campaign is really about, which is
just gonna go off the
supporting.
I was just gonna go off the picture. It looks like the difference is you get an envelope.
Absolutely, you do. Not only do you get an envelope, but inside that envelope, you get a piece of commissioned artwork from a artist of your choosing. So what this is, all the people are down here, these creators.
So you get anyone on there, or
this is anyone other than the professionals that are also working on the book. Okay. So you can get Muttman or Pixel or Nasser or Kat, Manny, Willie, Kevin, J Pods, Eric, Bill Hart, me, Todd Mulrooney. Some of these guys are writers. But any one of us that you like, which is why I told everybody, put your pictures on here. That submit your pictures that show what style you work in, because that's the whole point. If this is an independent comic revival and you want to support these independent creators, pick one that you really like. Maybe you don't even know any of us, but you came into this project just because Muttman and Macho Dan, you're a fan of theirs, and you really want a piece of artwork from them. Support him, because what that does essentially, that package is that money goes directly to them, and they are the ones responsible for shipping out your commission.
So when they get this, they're not. Someone gets this, they're not going to get the commission with the package. They have to wait a little bit longer, or they might get it sooner.
Correct.
And
it'll be sooner or after. Yeah.
It's a black and white commission.
Yes.
And that's 8x10 black and white commission. It's inked, probably, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And that'll be you choose an artist that you like, whose style you like, or somebody that you follow, and support them, because we want these people out there creating. We're getting these creators and prepping them for phase 3. If he has a book I know that Muttman and Macho Dan are revising their campaign, and they're going to come out with the Blood of the Patriots again when they retool it and kind of streamline it, get it correct, and if you like their stuff and you want to help them get along with, because the stuff ain't free to even if you're just starting a campaign, it ain't free.
Yeah.
There's going to be costs, because even if you are a fantastic writer and you're teamed up with a stellar artist, you're still going to need somebody to do post-production. You're still going to need somebody to do lettering, and that stuff costs money.
Or you have to figure out how to do it yourself. Which is fun.
Which costs time and money. Yeah. So help these guys out. They all have their own properties that they're working on. They all have their own stories they're working on. And if you like them, support them. And that's why we got this. We were talking about the win-win-win scenario. So which is why we kind of got the backing of Ethan Van Sciver and John Malin, Gary Shipman, Mike Barron, James Hudnall. These people, they saw this campaign. They're like, okay, this is how it's going to work. This is the way to move forward, because we have to start building up independent comics middle class in this community. It can't just be the super high tier guys and then the nobodies, Yeah.
Right now, I don't think that what EVS is doing is actually, he might be doing other things that are in the background, but the shilling of the Cyberfrog isn't going to cut it with building an industry. So we need to figure out how to actually build an industry, not just get a couple people just
exactly, because what we need is content out there.
Yeah,
we need people that are creating. We need an embarrassment of riches when it comes to stories, and the only way to get that out there, and we can't count on Ethan Van Sciver or John Malin or Mike Miller to promote these guys day in and day out. They have their own stuff to do. They have to make content. If Ethan was just doing his comic book and nothing else, he would have, 2 books out by now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because he'd also be broker, too.
Yeah.
To be fair, he'd be broker. He'd not have as much money right now, because
absolutely,
those YouTube streams are really profitable.
Yeah. And the thing is, his YouTube Star Wars streams are much more profitable than his YouTube let me shill for somebody else's book streams.
Yeah,
people pay. So. Yeah, you gotta build, and that he can't spend all his time, promoting, John Dillard's book. He got to do his own thing.
Well, he could.
Same thing.
Pay him a couple $1,000s every time he comes on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But the thing is, we want to take some of the weight off of the shoulders of the big boys and start creating this middle class so that we have an avenue to promote ourselves. We have a network of people and creators that are out there producing and promoting each other, so that you don't have to go with your hat in your hand looking for airtime on one of their streams, you know?
Yeah, we, like, as a community, as a new industry, need something like Wizards, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I agree.
because I don't think creators should be, like, it's great that they're out there promoting, but at the same time, that's a big ask for creators to be doing that 24/7. And it takes
Mm-hmm.
away from the quality of the product and the time that you're spending on that.
Mm-hmm. Like the
So,
closest thing we have right now to a wizard, realistically, is like Indicron, the one that Pixel's working on. But Pixel again is only one guy who does this part time because he has a full time job. You know?
yeah, and probably Fanspeak to a certain degree,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Fanspeak is pretty small. Um,
yeah. And that's the thing. Like when I go somewhere, I talk about Todd DeWolf or Chester from Fanspeak because I need more traffic to Fanspeak, because that's, I mean, if we're going to have a place where people can premiere and they talk about the creators that are out there creating, it needs to have people looking at it. It can't be small. It has to be
yeah.
big.
Yeah, and it's just you got to give a voice to certain people. You can't just go to here's a voice for this person who's a creator. It's like
Hmm.
wait. You got to give like a voice to people who are gonna do interviews, and that means you can't just base it solely on uh, whether someone's creating or not. Or you have to look at the creation of content in a different way,
We
which
need
is
a we need a B
interesting.
Allen Orange in our group.
Why not go get B. Allen Orange? He seems to like us, you know.
Yeah. But no, and then like, when we were telling them about this project, and they were like, "This is a good idea," which is why they're donating stories and artwork to this book. Like in this book, we're gonna have a one-page story by Ethan Van Sciver. We're gonna have a one-page story. Well, we already have the one-page story by John Malin. Mike Barron is donating he's writing a 6-page story for this book. Gary Shipman's doing a 3-page story for this book. It's all going to be in the book. They're trying to get this out there, but at the same time, they want to see if this has legs. Are people really serious about this independent comic revival, or are they just doing lip service because they like hanging out with, EVS? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I think
So,
is somewhat happening, um, to a certain degree, because there needs to be an. I think people are looking for an endorsement,
hmm
and without that endorsement, it's sort of like things fall flat.
yeah,
That's the
it's
biggest
100%
problem.
true. Because when in this day and age, we're doing independent comics. People aren't buying the independent comics just for the independent comics. They're buying you. They're buying
Yeah,
the creator.
yeah. Within this setup, they're buying the creator
Hmm
and their time,
And
their
there's nothing
effort,
there's
their.
nothing wrong with that. Yeah, and they're buying the personal interaction they can have with the creator.
I would say there's something wrong with that when you're essentially when Comicsgate started off as we're not looking for your commentary on anything. That's one of the
Hmm
things that Comicsgate started with,
hmm
because people were pushing their politics and everything, and putting their personal stuff on their Twitter accounts. And so it's like, now is what we're doing any better than that, or is it something different? Right?
Okay, well, think of it this way. Let's say I go out there. Like I had somebody who left a comment on a video that I was doing. I think it was one of the videos that I did that it was the launch video, I think, or was it the launch video or the Valentine's Day video or something like that. I just had a video out there promoting the Tales from Beyond the Gate. And somebody put on there, "Hey man, I was super jazzed to back the Tales from Beyond the Gate until I found out that you were promoting it on this other channel, and I hate those guys, and I can't support anybody that supports them." You know? And my response was not, eat a bag of D's. My response was, "Hey man, I'm sorry that I can't have a customer in you. Kudos to you for standing up to what you believe in. I hope that I can earn your business in the future." That was my response.
Right.
Is that different than sending somebody a picture of your asshole?
I
I
don't
think it
know.
is.
No, but you're the idea is basically that you don't want to mix the uh personal politics shit with business. And we're sitting here creating channels and creating the stuff with pretty much with politics on the forefront, but we're putting the comics, which are supposed to be the real content, on the background and not putting the politics in there. But it's sort of the same thing. So I would say that instead of going, that's a legitimate argument to be having, we should reevaluate how we're looking at those guys and whether they're doing something wrong or not. Because if you're doing the same thing, you should be criticizing someone doing the same thing. Now, how they handle it, like you said, it's a different from, here's my politics, and here's a picture of an ass, versus here's my politics, and I regret that you can't be a customer. I would like for you to be a customer, but I understand. There's a difference between those two responses.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's important to differentiate so you people are acting in the correct way that people actually want.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I'm not able to, I can't even control my viewers in my own chats.
Yeah.
Like, I understand when somebody would say, I have no control over what people do. You know what I mean? I really do not. I'll tell people, stop posting pictures of links to pictures of your feet in my chat, please. They don't, they just keep on doing what they do. But from what I have influence over, I do the best I can to be the best ethical that I know how to be.
Yeah, and that's all you can really ask.
Yeah.
And not put politics in there. No.
I don't actually. Like, I really do not. Like, if you watch my channel is almost exclusively just art tutorials and hangouts where we're just live drawing and chit chatting.
Yeah, I've seen some of them, like, on and off. I usually am like, hey, there's a channel that, there's something else over there. That's what I'm just happening. And I'm sorry about that, but.
Oh no. But the thing is, like, I also have, I think we started doing live Dungeons and Dragons sessions.
What edition are you playing?
5th edition, but we're doing like a homebrewed 5th edition.
Which means, is it like a?
It's even more simplified than 5th edition already is.
Oh man, that's not fun.
It is. Well, the thing is, we're starting off very simplified, and every session, because we're having Chester DM it.
Well, are you playing with noobs or what?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's what
every
a lot
session
of people recommend is playing the simplified stuff with newbies.
Yeah, and every session we're kind of adding more mechanics in so that they can kind of get used to it slowly.
Yeah, I haven't.
Eventually, it'll be the full-on 5e,
which is extremely simplified.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't.
I'm not going to go to 3.5D. I'm not going to go to 3.5 either. That's just too much for me. It's too much information. I can't
Every time I try to get into it, something happens with the GM, or like I get rejected from playing. So it's like, okay.
Well, that happens to every session of everybody's D&D ever.
No, I've had like really horrible GMs.
Oh.
It's
I'm sorry.
Like literally, the first time I tried to play a tabletop game, the guy is like, "You're in a tower." It's like, okay. And there's doors all around you, and they're all locked. It's like, okay. So I look for something to do it. Can't find anything. Any light? Nope. Any hints? Nope. Any cracks?
Nope. I lay down and cry.
Exactly. It's like, I spent like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes just trying to come up with every single possibility that I could come up with. And I'm like,
so what was the answer to how to? What was
he
the
never
answer
told
to
me.
Progress? Oh shit!
I was just like, screw it, I'm done.
You guys suck. I'm out of here.
It's like this is pointless. What are you trying like? And this was him trying to get me into tabletop games. It's like, really?
like I don't know if you ever heard of a guy called he calls himself Drunkens and Dragons.
No.
It's a YouTube channel, but I just took because he's like really good at doing these really fast-paced run and gun modules. Like he comes up with his own story, he brews up his own story, and he has like he uses a D4 to keep the pressure on the rear of the people. Like you have goblins chasing you, and they're gonna bust through that door in. He rolls the dice 3 turns. So what are you gonna do right now? You know, it's like he keeps everything real fast-paced. So I just took one of his things for when I did my own game, like back in the day. I just took one of his and just inserted my own characters into it, and people loved it, man. Because people love people love sitting there with people on screen and watching them try to figure out what their next move is. You know, they are, okay, what I'm gonna do, and the thing is, or if you watch those the Penny Arcade guys that do the PAX West and stuff like that,
Yeah.
where they do live on stage. Like a guy was like fighting a dragon, and he was a rogue, and he couldn't do anything, and the dragon was swooping down, and he was telling the DM. So I'm imagining that this dragon has like when he flies, his feet are kind of like tucked up under his belly, right? Like in this claw motion. He's like, yes. He's like, and I'm imagining this claw looks a little bit reminiscent, I would say, of a chandelier. Wouldn't you say that? He's like, I guess you could. He's like, well, I'm going to use this dragon's claw when he swings by as a chandelier to do a dramatic backflip with my rope. You know? And he's like, oh, you go ahead and do that. He's like, okay, what do I roll? He's like, oh, no, you just do it. You know, it's like you try to get these scenarios in your head, because essentially the whole time is what you're trying to do is trying to convince the DM that your idea is better than what he has planned. You know what I mean?
Oh god, I would suck at that.
And that's the fun part of the game is, and then everybody else going, why would that work? That would not work. And the DM's like looking at you, like shaking his head, like, yes, that does work. That's the fun part of the game. I love that part of the game.
Yeah, because usually what happens with those games with me is I'm like extremely logical. I'm like, well, Superman would do this, this, and this, so he would obviously win. People are like, yeah, but he tears off his pants and does this. It's like, that's completely illogical. Yeah, but it's funny. It's like, and that guy wins. Like, but it's wrong.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to, and again, that depends on your DM, on how pliant your DM is. If he's real staunch and he doesn't want anything fun to happen ever in the whole world, then yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. But if he's gonna allow you to make your case, because I will allow somebody when I DM to make their case. Like I had this guy trapped in this dungeon, and he like destroyed this slug, and he was like, through this room was another dimension where it's all completely black, but it's a bunch of monsters just kind of like swarming their way across the floor. And he's like, and he was a bard, and he's like, you know, I'm gonna put this skin on, and I'm gonna go in there, and I'm gonna go on the floor, and I'm gonna go squish and go around until I can find something, you know? I said, well, convince me why these other animals would let you just wander by, you know, without, you know, attracting them. And he gave me the most beautiful, like, well thought out reason why. You know, I was like, well, yeah, absolutely, go for it, you know. If you can convince the DM, you know, then more power to you.
Yeah, my like I haven't, like I said, I haven't had much time to actually play, but I've looked at a bunch of the systems. What I would do if I ever created like a real character is exploding runes. Just build up exploding rune after exploding rune. Put every exploding runes on everyone. You know, suicide bombing if I have to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that seems like the most practical use of like any kind of magic that you have, and just go, okay, I am a wizard of the level that it's needed, and then just go full warrior beyond that, or full rogue, or whatever.
Oh yeah, I think that the disguise self is probably the most underutilized and overpowered spell you can use.
It's like, why wouldn't I want to throw grenades at people? That's what you're doing.
But why would you have to? You could just disguise yourself as somebody else.
I could have been someone else to beat them up.
Yep. You're like, you there, boy! Attack those people. Yes, sir. You know. What they call him, the Burgelmeister.
It's like, but he told me to beat you up. It's like,
well, who is he?
I'm
assuming he's the boss. Yeah, but yeah, that's what I love. So hey, dude, I gotta get going real.
All right.
Gotta get some food going because I'm starving. But thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I try to run this as much as possible. Sometimes I just don't feel like it, but I'm trying to do it like every day and just have whoever on.
Well, from one whoever to another, I thank you. But yeah, anybody, go check out Tales from Beyond the Gate. Back it if you like good stuff. If you don't like good stuff, then I don't know what to tell you.
Then there might be something else that's good inside of it. You don't know.
Mm-hmm. You don't know.
I mean,
You
one
never
person
know.
could be bad and another person could be good. But
Hmm.
that's the benefit of an anthology. It's
That's the
multiple
great thing.
people.
You got like what 19 different stories in there, so you can choose from whatever. But yeah, thank you very much, Dirk, and having me on. And I'll see you around.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
No problem. Peace.
Peace. Back over to yeah. Okay. So is there anyone in the chat? Now to return to silence. While I color this and talk to myself. No, that should probably be a gray color. Fix that in. What a gray white. Because it's never. You should never use pure white on this stuff. And I hate that dog. I don't know if I'm letting this completely wrong. What the hell? Okay. And yeah. Okay, I got that. Hi Ryan. This is James Dean's Zatanna he posted a while back ago. I'm just coloring it because I wanted something simple to color. Come on. Of course, it would help if I stopped messing up, but, you know. Keep on messing up regardless. Let's see. I don't know why I'm messing up so much today, but oh well. If you want to jump in on Hangout, there's the link in the description, by the way. I think this is the first drawing of James Dean's that I colored. Pretty sure. Not positive. What's there to be nervous about? It's just me in here doing nothing. Also, don't you have a Twitch channel? Pretty sure you have a Twitch channel. Oh, do you post on the YouTube one? Or do you not make many videos? I know I don't make many videos. Whoops. Yeah, it's a habit. I'm trying to develop it myself. This is the first video I did and first stream I did in the few days. And then I didn't do any videos for like, I don't know, a month or so. Oh, what are you working on? If it makes you feel better, I'm anxious about everything whenever I get in front of people, so it's not like you. And I'm pretty sure most people get that way to some degree. I feel you on that. Oh wait, that should be white, I think. Well, at least it's a way to improve your skills. Well, neither do I, that's why I have the room open. Like, I'm quiet when there's no one else in here, or no one talking in the chat, because I don't have a topic offhand that I'm really good at talking about. Well, this isn't really me working, this is me messing up. It seems. I think I've messed up like 800 times on these flats alone while you guys have been watching. So. Luckily with flats it's nothing major. And since this isn't for any project or anything, it's just for me to do something and learn how to do this stuff. It's not really all that bad at I make a mistake. Plus it gives me something to do while there's no one in here, or to entertain people. Rather than just sitting here silently doing absolutely nothing. And you most certainly can come in here and talk about homework. I don't mind that. It's a topic. see, what's the colors? I think her eyes are blue, not positive. Oh wait, I want to color her sash red. Oh no, there's actually, uh, I'm the kind of the producer, not the artist or writer. I had the idea and then I paid people to do it at the time. It's not exactly my vision, but it came out well enough, close enough to what I wanted for what it was trying to do. Because we were trying to get to set it up so it could be, it could sell the series that I actually wanted to do, which was the furthering in the future of the concept of where the story takes place. The artist is like one was a noob and the other was and I don't think he draws anymore. And the other one, he's going on to do some other projects, but I don't have contact with them anymore. So I don't want to name them. Because I don't know where they stand on the whole Comicsgate thing. And I'm rewriting, editing, co-writing, whatever, the book too. Select, deselect. Yeah, so all the people that worked on it kind of have to stay in mystery because of how long ago in the past that people worked on it and all that. The artwork is mostly done for what it is. It's there's some errors in the pages that need to be fixed. Uh, Cover needs to be drawn, and I think that's about it. I think that's it. In its current state, I might end up rewriting things, and then maybe I'll need a few more pages to be drawn. Just because because I might combine the next part into there since most of the art is done, and it's a little bit more pushes the story a little bit further, so it's a better value for the money. But I don't know. It depends on what I can figure out for like what's the best option to do. Because I'm thinking that it might be best to put all the artwork that is done already into one book. And then if people like it and want to continue it, then the next one can be done. The next one can be done in its own style altogether, and so the styles don't clash. Right now I have someone planned out. He's works all on front end, so since I don't have any money until the campaign is solid, I can't really do anything. But but if something happens, I'll probably be looking for someone else to draw the color. So The cover, not the color. I don't know how you draw color. But I need as it stands right now, I have like uh two not two blank. Is it two blank? It's like two blank pages that I need to have filled. And I was thinking having like advertisements in there, book. Like do a page like you know the classic way that they had the fruit pies ads in there. That'd be funny to have right in the middle of the comic. Or I can expand it because to 64 pages if there's and have like a 16-page backup story in there if I can figure out how to do that, because the price of printing a 48-page versus 64-page book uh isn't much of a difference, and it's more content for the book, so it'd be good if I could get that, but you know, again, have to pay for all that stuff. That's why I'm thinking about rewriting it and combining some of the stuff so that I can get more of the more of that space in there. Get like all usage of another like 22 pages that I have for the art. Oh, I meant to do that on a background. Oh, dang it. See, messed up again. There we go. Well, you can paint lines. You can. You just can't draw color. No, at least I don't think so. And color is a wavelength that is made up in your head, sorta. Faces and hands. Well, all the stuff is like goblins, so I don't think that would be conducive. It's like goblins and orcs. And a French girl. A French woman, rather. I think she's French. If I remember right. I don't even know what would make a good cover for that. I was for the Veil War at the moment. I haven't really thought about it. Should probably think about it. Yeah, I took a color theory class in school, and I completely ignored it, and I considered it one of the most annoying classes. And now I'm sort of having to use it all the time. Let's say I had to learn how to draw with, color with markers. Hated that. I cheated to get through the class. Oh, basically cheated. I, trace colored over, like, images that I had drawn and colored it long in the past. Or that had already been, colored and all like that. So I just went over it with, markers, So I got the assignment done. It's just not the best. I went to animation. Took animation major at the Art Institute of Pittsburgh, which was a scam school. I think it's still open, but it's still a scam. They try to burn you out. So you like drop out of the class and drop out of the school rather. And honestly, most of the stuff that I learned there was just like tricks and not really learning how to draw or do anything like that. In fact, most of the classes ended up with me giving advice to other people. Yeah, I went there because I took that major because I was trying to get into game design, and they said it was practically the same thing. It's true if you're only looking at game design as, artistic, I guess, but I meant actual game design, not programming and not fucking just drawing or character creation, but designing a fucking game. So the Veil War was originally conceived of as a game, so back when I was going there. And all the part that is in the comic is all background story to what that was supposed to be. And that never got made. Also, someone I met back then, when they heard this idea for the Veil War, uh, they had connections with Bandai, and were willing to set up a meeting with them, but that would require me to have had flown out to California, like, hello, whoever's there. Okay. Good. You got over your not wanting to come on. I'm doing good. You were saying something about George Costanza? You dropped out? You dropped off for a second. You said he was just about to say something. That'll always confuse you.
Baxter, get out of here. Oh, okay. All right. We'll lay down. Fine.
Yeah, that's I feel that way. I mean, if I took a different route in so many things, I would have been a millionaire years ago. It's like obviously I've been making wrong decisions, but I don't, well, wrong decisions from a certain perspective. Yeah, or like as a formula group like John Dillard was saying, so you can get feedback instantly, and you're getting it from people that know what they're doing, or at least people who have parts of that they know what they're doing. Well, yeah, because you're not. Even if you wanted to go, even if when you want to go to a convention, you're people aren't going to them because they're too expensive. It's like, and a lot of them are out of the way too. Capitalism? What's that? It's cool. Like you hear me talk and I'm like all over the place and weird and take pauses in the middle of sentences. I suck at speaking, so no, keep on going. I don't have a problem at all. Like I used to sit in chat room in hangouts for like 8 10 hours a day, like just sitting there talking with people. So it's dragon, but I don't really care how you pronounce it since I've had it for so many years and people pronounce it wrong all the time, including myself. So I don't. It's one of those things. It's like I just don't care. Well, me starting with art of any sort is I don't remember because it was before I had memory. So 33. Yeah, don't worry about it. I went to rent a movie one time. Went to the place, And I got up to the desk and it's like, "What's your birthday? Got to make sure who you say you are." I'm like, um, yeah, neither do I. I actually get annoyed when people like remember, tell me it's my birthday. It's like, really? You remembered it? Like, so do I get gifts? Like, no? Okay. So you just decided to tell me I'm older and closer to death. Thanks. That was a great memory. Well, I figured that if you're going to celebrate these holidays and things, you should probably be selling them, doing this the types that you thing that you would be grateful for and celebrating. You should probably be doing that every day. 2003. Oh, like 2003 to 2003. Yeah. I got kicked out. Yeah. I got sick, and they're like, "No, you didn't go to the classes, so you failed the classes. So uh, we only allow so many failures." So I was like, "Okay, whatever." It's like I was sick, and it was largely because of your bullshit programming, which I you lied about on the thing, which means you committed fraud. But okay, whatever. About when did about when was that? Oh yeah, there's like they've been well established as scam by then. Like back when I went, they like you remember EGM? Electronic Gaming Monthly. It was a magazine. Yeah. Yeah, they advertised it as one of the best, like one of the top 5 gaming schools to go to. And like I actually didn't want to go to college, but my grandparents were like, "We're paying, and we want you to go to college." So I was like, "Okay, whatever. Here's a college." Because they did that thing that you're talking about. They popped up in my computer information systems class for not career prep, but career whatever. That's a career designated type classes. Which I don't have a career or a job or anything, so we saw how that works out. Yeah, and here's the thing with comic art is it's not the best art out there. You're not going to be the best artist out there because they're looking for style. They're not. If you're looking to be the best artist, you're looking for technical expertise, and technical expertise means that you can take any style you want, and like you know the basics, and you can just duplicate any style you want. Most comic artists can't do that, or at least I don't think they can. Oh, you're talking about the Trinity. It's yeah, it's not. He actually got it wrong, but there's a trinity of quality, uh, quality, speed, or uh, enjoyability, or something like that. Yeah. If Yep. See ya. No idea what time it is.
Tired and Dorito. Yeah, I'm watching the History Channel. Yeah. They haven't said anything yet, so you got 10 more minutes. You don't put that. We'll see. Yeah, so. You didn't even ask when my schedule was worked out. You didn't ask about my schedule for PT. Just want to let you know that day you come out, I gotta go to physical therapy in the afternoon. She's gonna have to watch you until I get back. I'm not gonna be gone that long. And we talked about once you get done with the PT at home, putting PT at the rehab, team rehab. That's the reason why I take it so long. Tired and cranky and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yes. Don't have a clue right now. Yeah.
5%.
Right. Yeah, don't worry about it. Let me call you back. I'm trying to watch this program. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hey, Pika Pika. You mean you watch this thing after I'm done with it? Well, why would you torture yourself by doing that? How are you doing? Oops. Go the opposite way. And we go. It's going okay. Got up to 26% right now. Not much else to do for me on it. Just gotta wait for it to get funded, and then I can do something. Well, and then I can hand it off to other people because it's pretty much already done. I'm thinking about doing a rewrite of it completely. I don't know. I have to work out the finances on that if I do that. But everything else going swimmingly. However, swimmingly goes. I don't know how swimmingly goes, but oops. I don't know, but it's still a slow trickle to get people to come in and uh, take a look at it. Once they take a look at it, it's about the same amount of growth. It's about 5% of them are going to buy, which is a higher. It's actually higher than that because it's also based on multiple views of the same thing. So it's actually a pretty good percentage of people that are coming in. Just need to get more people to come in. No, I have not. I don't know, I think I asked Michael about it a while ago, but hasn't responded. I mean, Professor Geek. Or did I ask? I'm not sure. Maybe. I think maybe I asked Weekcast. Well, I've always thought it was fairly obvious that he should invite me, but you know, maybe that's an oversight on my end. I don't know, I mentioned in his chat often enough that I'm not getting invited on many places. I don't know what's up with that. Satana, it was drawn by James Dean Anderson. I think he said it was a practice sketch when he posted it. I'll back out in just a second so you can see what it actually is. Yeah, so it says Zatanna with a heart in front of a heart. And it's by James Dean Anderson, so I just wanted something simple to draw in color because I was working on a pencil for drawing Cyberfrog thing, and it's just like wasn't it was a lot. Let's just say it's a lot of stuff in there. Oh, and I'm starting to lag. Oh, that's fun. Thank you, Wolsey. I keep on saying that I have to restart my computer, and I keep on forgetting to. Uh, I think I'm gonna have to after this stream because my lag is getting too high. I think that's about it for the shading. Let's go in and go a little bit, tone it down a little bit here. Other than that, it's time for highlights. And I'm almost done. That's my dad in the other room. I think it's Sports Center. I don't know. No, if I was listening to something, I'd be probably listening to an audiobook right now. But that stuff's all copyrighted, so I can't do that. Yeah, I wish I could mute the background stuff, but I can't. I don't know how to do it. Yeah, I'm not into sports all that much, so. I don't really pay attention to it. And I am almost done. I just gotta add a little bit more, and hopefully my computer holds out till then. It's fun trying to race that clock. I guess I don't really have background noise usually, so background sounds. If, like I said, if I'm gonna listen to anything, I'm gonna listen to a book. Uh, and that helps me zone out. Oops. I have Instagram, but I don't. I mean, I've signed up for it, but I don't have anything on there, as far as I remember. I generally don't like uh, Facebook and Apple product stuff. That's what it is. Instagram is Facebook product stuff. It's like I have a Facebook account mainly because I can't get rid of it. So what was I doing? Oh yes. Yeah, you can see the little stutters. It's funny. Uh, gotta give her tits a little bit of a shine. Reflection. Now we can go through and fill black. Edit fill black. Edit fill. Okay, now can brighten up and dull something. Select inverse. This one. What's that doing up there, over there? Yeah, that doesn't seem right. There we go. Let's do a quick color of that heart and the background. Select all, edit. Oh, yeah, have to. Yeah, this computer has about 16 gigs of RAM, but it was pretty decent when I got it, but it that won't work with what I'm doing now, really. And also with Google, that tries to eat everything, eat all the bandwidth. Yeah, that's where the problem starts. Oops. Don't want that. That looks about done to me. Wait, I need to add a cast shadow. Maybe I can just do it the easy way. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Doo-doo-doo. Wow, that was real immature. Oh well. Drop shadow, where's it going? Oh, drop shadow. So this. Oops. Distance. Why is it going that way? I have to go the other way. That's the problem of leaving the room open, but whatever. That's nice. No, no noise. So that's 46. Yeah, we're gonna. That, okay. Hello. Yeah. Sure. Oh look, that problem has been dealt with. So hard to deal with. Well, anyways, I'm done. So, I'm gonna call it a day. Take care, Peekin', and anyone else that's in the chat. This way, most of you are probably trolls. If you're in there.